really matters is this.
Sus, I've heard a lot of people as I wander around the Twin Cities area talking about the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun because everybody thinks they know, and then you hear it, and you're like, I'm pretty sure that's not right. But you don't interrupt their conversation because you don't want to be a D word.
And, yeah.
Right? But it's like when I used to listen to my my family members at picnics, not my immediate family, but my outside family members, talk about what they called UFOs.
What are UFOs, Hawk?
Those are UFOs. But if you know a lot about them and you are from a small town, you call them UFOs because that's how the scientists do it. And I used to listen to them talk about the UFOs as if they had been on one.
Oh,
okay.
So you know some UFO experts?
Actually, it seems like it. But it's the same thing with coronavirus experts. And so I figured I'd help us all out. And I read up a little bit on it. So do you want some what really matters about what the coronavirus actually is?
This is about the case in California?
No, maybe. A little bit. Could be.
All right. Let's do this.
This is from sciencenews.org, so it's real.
Yeah, that means,
By the way, if you like science stuff,
it's legitness.
Check out sciencenews.org. It's like an online magazine, but they have the coolest articles. And they send it to my email every morning.
Subscribe?
It's an email.
Do you pay for it?
No.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm sure
paid for Google Play. Did you ever get to the bottom of that?
Yeah, I figured it out. I was signing up for things before I went on the Greyhound bus trip last year.
Oh.
So I had plenty to watch, and then I forgot about it and didn't use it all. And besides that, my battery was dead. The damn chargers didn't work anyway.
And who cares, right?
And it smelled like feces. Yeah. And I had a fecal transplant against my will.
But then you got on the Jefferson Line bus, and it was like,
hallelujah. Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
It's perfect. The coronavirus outbreak that began late last year in China has now spread to 29 countries, Sauce, touching every continent except South America and Antarctica. Actually, I read last night, now it's South America, it's there, so Antarctica is the last one. While the vast majority of the cases are still in China, the virus is gaining foothold in other countries, raising fears that the world is on a brink of a pandemic. The next What Really Matters will tell you exactly what that means when you call it a pandemic. It's not what you think.
Twins played at a split squad game yesterday, and the one team lost 5-4 to the Phillies. Nelson Cruz did hit a home run in the sixth inning, and the other squad beat the Rays 10-8. The Twins take on the Blue Jays today at 12:07. What really matters is this.
Baby, a song.
Great song.
Roll my windows down.
I'm a huge Florida Georgia Line fan.
Really?
Yeah.
That's got to be his walkout music, right? Nelson Cruz?
That's a great song.
It should be, shouldn't it?
Should be.
Yeah.
But what really matters is this. According to the World Health Organization, or WHO,
Brilliant.
a pandemic is the worldwide spread of a new disease. It's most often used in reference to influenza and generally connotes that
Connotes the right word?
Uh-huh.
I've never heard that word before.
And generally connotes that an epidemic has spread to 2 or more countries with sustained person-to-person transmission. So calling it a pandemic doesn't mean it's horrible or anything like that. It could be, but what it means is it spreads easily to 2 or more countries, person to person.
I have an adult question about this.
Right.
Do they have any kind of idea how to stop it?
We're going to get to that.
And is it deadly to everyone that gets it?
We're going to get to all that.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad you're doing this. I'm just setting the stage.
That's why I'm doing this.
Sorry, I'm bad at this job.
You're doing great. You're previewing what I'm about to say in 20, 30 seconds.
I'll preview you.
Awesome. Is that like fluffing?
You're too horny. You should go.
I'm going to pass away. I'm going to pass away. I'm going to be the first
you're too horny?
documented case of passing away.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to remember the late, great Chris Hawkey. And somebody in the crowd who just showed up for support's going to go, how did he die? He was too horny.
Too horny. He passed away.
And then,
Died doing what he loved.
It can't be an open.
Not doing what he loved.
Yeah, it's got to be a closed casket.
Yeah.
It'll be open when they try and close it, but that's a whole different thing. 5-time Grand Slam winner Mira Sharapova.
God, she loves Perkins.
Maria Sharapova, right? Is it Maria?
Yeah.
God, she loves Perkins.
Why? Oh, it's Denny's. Has announced her retirement from tennis in a column she writes for Vogue and Vanity Fair. What really matters is this.
Can I tell you something? And this would not be me being mean.
Yeah.
Didn't you guys think she was already retired?
Yeah.
I thought that she had already retired.
Well, she was suspended for a long time because she did that cheating thing.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just
I thought that
assumed
was
she was.
it. She was like, okay,
Because
fine. Then
don't you?
quit.
I mean, I'm not a huge tennis fan, but don't you go? Don't you have? Isn't your shelf life like? I'm not kidding you. Like 16 to like 23. Isn't like Federer considered really old in the tennis world?
I mean, he's old, but he's still kicking ass.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I guess maybe back in the day that is
Still,
how it was, but
kicking that ass.
Okay, but what really matters is
yeah,
this.
kids,
These are
come on.
great. What really matters, Hawk.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Again, back to the pandemic thing. The severity of the illness doesn't fall under the WHO's strict definition of a pandemic, just the disease's spread, though the WHO may take overall burden of the disease into account before declaring a pandemic. As the top global health agency, the WHO is relied upon to be the first to make the pandemic declaration.
We're listening.
What are you doing?
Oh, Arnie's here. I was
Oh,
telling somebody.
okay. Who's Arnie?
Marnie. Arnie's her grandpa.
Despite the global reach of
And
the
the old
disease, the
governor.
WHO has so far declined to declare coronavirus a pandemic. For the moment, we are not witnessing the uncontained global spread of the virus, and we are not witnessing large-scale severe death or disease. Does this virus have pandemic potential? Absolutely. Are we there yet? From our assessment, not yet.
You may have said this, but I was orchestrating people going to get Marnie.
Mm-hmm.
What I've also read up is that it's bad for the elderly.
Right. We'll get there.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
The combine workouts start today with the quarterbacks, no Burrow or Tua, but the wide receivers and tight ends will also work out today at the Indianapolis combine at the field that the Colts play in. What really matters, Hawkey, is this.
This is the big one. Hey,
Okay.
hey, Zach, are you listening?
I'm listening loud and clear.
You can't be listening loud.
No.
I mean, you have to be listening clear.
Yeah.
If you're listening loud, it would be hard to hear me.
What?
The last time the WHO declared a pandemic was in 2009.
Okay.
The H1N1 strain of influenza. You remember H1N1?
Oh, yeah.
My worst strains, in my opinion, of influenza out there.
There she is.
Hi,
I've
Marnie.
missed you.
I did have that, I think.
We've moved on to Marnie. No one cares about your
But listen to this.
problems.
The
What's
H1N1 infected 1 billion people
Man.
in the first 6 months.
Can I share
Killed-
just a brief story?
Killed hundreds
I
of
don't know.
thousands
Should we vote on it?
in its first year.
What is with that
you guys
chair?
are talking all over my stats.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Let me
shut
say
up,
it again.
Zach.
Okay,
Son
go
of a
ahead.
bitch, this is huge. It infected 1 billion people in the first 6 months and killed hundreds of thousands in its first year.
Mm-hmm.
By comparison, 2,700 people have died from coronavirus since it emerged in December. That's a lot of people, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But 6 months, 1 billion people had it,
Man.
and hundreds of thousands in its first year? That's even more terrifying.
Hold on.
And I don't remember caring at all.
Let me see if I can quickly do the math. You said 6.
1 billion people in the first 6 months. Okay, Zach, go ahead.
Wait.
Okay, so long story short, I was covering the high school hockey tournament back in, 2013-ish.
Okay.
And whenever that whole thing went down with AWOL, I guess it was a couple years after the main outbreak,
Doesn't
but
matter. Go ahead.
I basically got this cough, and it got worse and worse and worse, and I thought it was just a bad cold, and turned out it was H1N1, and I just gave pretty much half the state it.
Did you really have H1N1?
Yeah, I walked around, like they have the Let's Play Hockey Expo, so there's
Yeah.
like a bunch of people in there. I walked around. I just thought I had a bad cold.
Patient
No.
zero.
Why are you outside? Stay in.
I didn't know. I was like,
No kidding.
the weirdest thing was when I was so if I started laughing,
Yeah.
I'd start coughing, and it would be a very painful cough. And then that was when I first knew, I was like, maybe this is more than just a cold.
Wow.
I had it too, really bad. For
You
2
had
weeks.
H1N1 as well?
in 09.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, my
Everybody
first year of
got it.
college, and it was the sickest I've ever been in my life, and that's why this kind of scares me a little bit.
Wow.
Ugh.
Yeah, so there you go. Those are your stats.
Well, that's
so,
sad.
A pandemic means it spreads person to person. It doesn't necessarily mean it's terrible, but it has the potential to be. So there you go. Now you're all kind of, now you know. Now you're a true expert.
And knowing